other spices.
Thank you.
There's a little bit of red pepper in here as well. Play around with. Amaranth is one of those. The first time I saw it, I was actually working at a greenhouse and it popped up in my compost. And somebody was like, hey, you're an herbalist. You want to do something with this herb? And I'm like, what is it? And they're like, amaranth. And I'm like, what? I've never heard of that. And so then when I went home and I looked it up, I was like, what the what? I want this. I want it all. It was huge. It was a huge plant. And I fell in love with the story and I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I want to know this plant really well. And then when I started drinking it, I was like, now I really love it. Now I really love it. So a Switchel is a energy drink from pioneer times, but it really came from the Caribbean, so it's a lot older than that. People from the Caribbean taught the pioneers how to make this drink, and it helped to replenish their electrolytes when they were harvesting. So it was a harvest time drink, usually a midday drink when they were, you'll know all the things. You'll know all the things in a minute. So
I got it.
There you go.
Cool, thank you.
Medicine, and there's 60 species, but they look different. This one has green leaves. Now I've seen some that have this like, they almost look like, I don't know what to describe that. So they like go up, it's like long. It's kind of like hers, but like they're this thick. And they just kind of go up and droop over. We had some of those pop up in our front garden last year. And Phil said that he's seen them around as a decorative plant. But I didn't try that one in the tea because this one over here is the one that I know. And so that's the one that I always work with. This one, I don't really know. I don't know it. I might have to start getting to know it a little bit better. It seems weird to me. So this is a different species, but it's the same plant. This is the one I know. So, and you'll see this more developed over there. So, no. So this particular, this green one, I mean, they've all been, so we didn't have this problem on the west side, but over here, like, the amaranth got attacked by two bugs. Now this one got attacked by some, it's a black and orange beetle. Oh, here it is. There it is. It's all over the plant. So I don't know. The holes on this one were a lot smaller than the bigger ones on the red for the June box. We didn't water this year. Like, we didn't water a lot. Now this one, this is the one that I like. This is my favorite. This is.
Do you know the name of the variety?
Hopi red dye.
Is that what it's called?
I think so. I think that's what that variety is called.
Yeah, because until a couple of years ago, I didn't even know there was more than one. I was like, oh, it's amaranth. But here, you'll see, okay, so here is the grain. So that candy you ate is actually this.
The little brown spot.
Uh-huh.
Isn't that tedious to gather?
So when they get a lot bigger, then usually it does, like you see, like they start to pop out. So it's like basically they start to pop out a lot more. But yeah, it's tedious to gather. So like I was able to get like a quart-sized jar of the grain. But it had all these red flowers in it too. And then like you tried to like make it and you're like crunching on the flour. It didn't taste as good. So as of now, you know, I just buy the Bob Mills for now, you know, because I don't know how to, you know, until I find some like awesome technique for getting the grains, I don't really know how to do that. So for the most part, I stick with the tea and the Switchel, you know, making a tisane, making a Switchel. I haven't even made a lot of other medicine from it because usually for me, I just want this as a tea. That's like, what I love about it. I love the color. I love it in my teas. But today we're going to get to play a little bit more, and we're going to get to experiment a little bit more. Now, the one thing that I did want to make was a flower essence. Like I said, I've always been a little bit greedy when it came to the flowers, because you saw how pretty that tea was. Like, I love serving people that color tea. I just like love it. It makes me happy when people are like, oh, pink. And even I used to have little tea parties, and she always wanted amaranth or violet. Like, those were the two teas that she wanted, because it was pink and purple. Like, all little girls, you know. So if I was going to get her to drink tea, it was going to be this. So I'm going to step away from the plant and let you guys have an opportunity to come up and get off my plant. Have an opportunity to come and kind of connect with this plant here. What I would recommend is, with the flower essence, just kind of have in mind which one you want to use, which jar you want to use. You don't need much for a flower essence, because like I said, you're just trying to get the vibrational imprint of the plant in the water. That's what you're trying to do. So you don't need much. Some people don't even put the plant in the water. They just like hold the water up to the plant. I like the plant in the water. If I'm gonna make it, I want the plant in the water. And then the tincture, we're actually gonna use a little bit more. So what you can do is just like this one might be good for flower essence, but I'm not telling you can't pick from this one for your flower essence. But like, this one has nice little, very condensed cones still. This one's actually younger than this one, even though it was bigger. You can do the leaves for the tincture too. If you can't find one that's not munched on here, we'll go look at a couple other plants and maybe some of the ones that are out here. But there are a few that aren't munched on, so I would recommend, if you're making medicine, just like find one that a bug didn't already violate. You don't want to use dead water or distilled water. If you can get mineral water, that would be great. You want to have some sort of energy or vibration into the water. All you do for flower essence is you're going to fill up your jar halfway. These jars never pour right. The reason that we're filling it halfway and have a different purpose. So tincture for amaranth is going to be generally used for diarrhea. This is even grosser, hemorrhage from the bowels. So pooty blood. Yeah, it's disgusting. Pooty blood. And excessive menstruation. That's actually a really good one. Because that's normal. The other is not normal. And then ulcers and sores, so like mouth sores, so cold sores, mouth sores, pretty much anything that's going to be bleeding on the inside of your body, it can help. If you're having an issue with something that's bleeding, you can use it, or just irritation of the mouth and gums too, to a certain extent. So tincture is a different medicine. We use vodka. So again, it's 80 proof. It doesn't matter what brand you use. I'm always using different brands. I went super expensive, all organic, prairie vodka all the way. People like the Kamchatka or whatever that nasty one is better. So they're like, oh, I can tell you changed your tincture. Yeah, a way more expensive one. I like the other one better. Okay, great. So cheap for you. No. It doesn't have as much sting. And the thing is you're not drinking it. You know, you're not like sitting there enjoying a cocktail. You're taking a medicine under your tongue, and so you want something that's not going to sting as bad. If you can't handle taking it under your tongue, it's fine. Just take it. Put it in some water, put it in some juice, take it however you need to take it. It's not going to be a big deal. The purpose of taking it under your tongue is it just goes into the bloodstream quicker. That's it. But it's going to go through your digestion. It's going to get to your body somehow. So certain things that are building, it doesn't really matter if you're going the digestive route. If it's something that you're taking, like I need relief right now, like a pain type tincture, then I would recommend holding it under your tongue. So tincturing, super simple. You already got your herb. You're going to pour your vodka. And that's it. So I'm making medicine, it's gonna heal.
I say that, and I say I love you, and I have my other one surrounded by crystals.
Aww. You are identifying what it is, and for 4 to 6 weeks, you're gonna shake it when you think of it. If you can do it every day, that's great. I think it's stronger medicine if you do, but I mean, seriously, who has time for that? I'm just kidding. Right, if you want.
Would that affect it if it was like in the heat?
Probably.
Like that? Okay.
Yeah. So you want to keep your medicines out of direct sunlight because you don't want it to be compromised by being in the light. You'll find that as we take this class, and even in your medicine making sheet, there are certain things that will say store in the dark. So there's a little bit of a difference between the medicines and how you're making them. You guys are going to get to go through the process of all different types of things, and you're going to get to make different types of things depending on the herb that we're working with. You're going to get to make, I mean, this is going to be a sneak peek for you because, you know, some of it's on here. We've got, you know, our elderberry syrup on here. I add a lot of other things to it, you know, but that's a general elderberry syrup. You've got a salve, you've got a homemade cough syrup. I also make a spray that I super love that we might talk about. You've got your tincture and your bitter, you've got your oxymel on here, and you've got face steaming. We love face steaming around here. So yeah, so you'll have a lot of different opportunities to make a lot of different